Okay, next we're going to have the Water Swift class come out once we've cleared the board. We've got a big grid in this one, 28 drivers out there. I'm seeing Nigel Edwards is giving the signal that we are clear to bring the drivers on to the circuit as well. Our top three in Water Swift Restricted have now left us, and now we wait to welcome Water Swift. On pole position will be George Edgar, looking to become another of the Edgars to take a GP plate, and Kanishk Rao will start alongside, gaining 9 places in the pre-final. So it'll be interesting to see how he gets on. Jesse Phillips and Will Green will be on row number 2. Max Endicott, podium here last year. He's going to be on row 3 with Finley Lines, but I believe we now have karts coming out onto the circuit. There they are. Grandstand, please. Let's give a round of applause to our Water Swift drivers as they come out onto the dummy grid. Starting on pole position, number 17, George Edgar. Alongside him on the second row, Oliver Rowland Motorsport driver. Can they make it 2 GP plates in 2 races? Kanishk Rao. We welcome George Edgar down. We did do an interview with Jessica Edgar earlier, now racing in the F1 Academy, has finished on the podium here at Kartmasters and is here to support George Edgar. She is over in the grandstand. I can see her over there, probably a little bit nervous as her brother George now goes on to the grid, and we are going to speak to him. Here we go, George Edgar. I remember speaking to you on the front row, I think it was last year as well. Back on the front row, pole position now. How are you feeling ahead of the race?
Yeah, really excited to get out and have a good race. Hopefully me and Jesse managed to get away, but it's Kartmasters, so anything can happen. Yeah, anything can happen, indeed. How's it been over the course of the weekend? It's a long weekend, isn't it? Had to put a lot of hard work to get it. Yeah, it's been a lot of hard work right from Thursday morning, from practice in the dry with changing conditions to now in the dry for the final.
And you think over the course of your campaigns in Kartmasters, you now learned a lot to be able to help you try and go and win?
Yeah, I've learned a lot, obviously, being on the front row once or twice and then being fighting at the front for a couple of years as well, so yeah.
Well, best of luck to George Edgar. I know a lot of support in the grandstands. We're going to wait for Dan Ashton to just finish speaking to Kanishk Rao, and then we're going to come in and speak. Well, a great pre-final coming up through the field. To get yourself on the front row, you must be feeling confident ahead of this one.
Yeah, I'm feeling quite confident. I had to come from 11th in the pre-final, so I think I've got the speed to win.
And how does it feel having just seen one of your teammates go and win in Water Swift Restricted? Do you reckon you can go and do the double now?
Yeah, hopefully it's a double win for ORM, Water Swift Restricted and Inter Water Swift.
Well, best of luck with it. Let's go and find a couple more of the drivers. George Edgar just wishing Jesse Phillips all the best. We had Jesse in the live lounge yesterday. I know you said you were here to get the victory, and you're in a pretty good position to do that, I think, Jesse.
Well, yeah, P3. Hopefully me and George can push away at the start, and then anything can happen on the last lap. Hopefully I can go for the win.
Well, best of luck to Jesse Phillips. I'm just going to come and speak. I think we've still got a bit of time. I'm going to speak to Will Green. You're on the pole for the pre-final, but still right up here in the second row. How are you feeling ahead of the race?
Yeah, it's good. Hopefully all 4 of us, or 5, could be able to push away, and hopefully I can come on top on the last lap.
And the first year for the Jamie Green Racing team here. What a start it's been so far. You reckon you can maybe bring home a trophy for the team?
Yeah, it'll be really good. It's my first ever Kartmasters. To get a podium would be great.
Well, best of luck to Will Green. Let's go and find Max Endicott now. Max, you've done well at this event before. You think you can go and get #1 spot this time?
Hopefully. I mean, it'll be a hard race to beat Fusion and beat Jamie Green Racing and beat ORM. It'd be very hard, so I'm going to go out there and try my best.
Well, best of luck to Max Endicott. Finley Lines is alongside 2 drivers here who gained quite a lot of places in the pre-final. We're strapped for time, but we'll walk fast. Aaron Richardson and Jensen Ackerman. Cameraman, please be as fast as you can, because I want to speak to someone down at the back of the grid, and that is Jarlath Sayer, who did drop back 20 places in the pre-final after a bit of an incident. So I want to speak to Jarlath, the Fusion Motorsport driver, because has shown some fantastic pace this weekend, and there's always going to be a driver to watch out for. The guys in commentary know that. Brandon Carr proved that last year. Could this be the next one? Let's find out. I'm going to come and speak to Jarlath Sayer, Reggie Doohy, giving the words of encouragement. Someone who knows how to get a podium here. Not the best pre-final, but you've been up there all weekend. Reckon we can move forward in this one?
Yeah, hopefully we can move forward and get top 3. So.
And with a mechanic there who's stood on the podium here before, I'm sure plenty of good advice and encouragement ahead of this one.
Yeah, he has.
Good stuff. Well, let's come to the back of the grid there, and we will turn around as we see the full grid now in action. I believe we are 6 seconds away from seeing the green flag go out and seeing the drivers be released. So with that, I think we will hand it back upstairs. Henry and DJ, over to you as we get the Water Swift Grand Prix underway.
Thank you very much, Chris. Yes, indeed. Great to see a lovely grid walk there with the Water Swift drivers. Certainly looking forward to this one. All the predictions that the ladies and gentlemen have brought in. Us ourselves, the commentators, have all got a different person we've gone for as well.
Yeah, but for those of you, 22 of you all picked Austin Gibson to win Water Swift Restricted. The rest of you, the rest of the 35, all picked Austin Newstead. So we've got 22 of you on 3 points, the rest of you on 1 point. Lee Narroway and Luca Narroway saying, come on, Archie Owen, you could do it. Nat Johnson saying, come on, Will Green and Finley Lines. Good night, Michael Burke. Thank you for joining us. You can see how your predictions go tomorrow. Louise Richardson, as always, supporting Aaron. Anthony, that's the moment. You've got 28. Very nervous. Well, nervous. There's bound to be some nerves.
There's bound to be nerves.
Probably got 28 somewhat nervous mechanics as well. It's the biggest single event of the season. The grid is cleared. Off to the left goes Alicia Barrett. Aryan Nayar's mechanic, number 11. See George Friend, Albie Friend's mechanic there. The green shirt moving off to the side. The rest of the teams are now leaving their drivers alone.
Well, certainly looking forward to this one. Busy grid, 28 drivers, and again, another chance for a new GP plate winner. Let's have a look at the starting lineup. Here we go then, it's race 51, it's Water Swift, it's the Grand Prix final. Let's take you through the starting lineup on this one. George Edgar, who put it on pole and qualifying on Friday, starts this one on the top spot. He's got Kanishk Rao, who is the story of Kartmasters in a nutshell. 22nd and a 12th in some of his heats. He qualified 4th and finished 11th. Earlier on, he starts his one on the front row. Jesse Phillips and Will Green, they round out row number 2, both of them being very quick drivers and some of the big predictors for this final win. Max Endicott and Finley Lines, they go from row 3. Aaron Richardson and Jensen Ackerman then round out row 4 from Ethan Woodward and Alfie Brown on row 5 on the top 10. Archie Lovett and George Clark round out the top 6 rows. Knight Measures and Ethan Weldon, they go from row 6 from Jacob Bashler and Harley Musk on row 8. Archie Owen and Zienik Babacek round out row number 9. Aaron Naya and Albert Friend round out the top 20 on row 10 from Charlie Goddard and Hayden Gilbert on row 11. Alexander de Benedictis and Ryan Townsend Grant go from row 12. Jarlath Sayer and Max Yule round out the top 13 rows from Sukmani Kira and Rashid Hilal rounding out the 28 drivers on this grid.
Rashid Hilal from Hamad Bahrain. Zienik Babacek from Rakov in the Czech Republic. And the rest of the drivers from the United Kingdom, with the exception of Maxim Bobrishov from the UAE, withdrew from the event. So, Grand Prix number 2, the first official Kartmasters Grand Prix for the unrestricted Water Swift class. On the left, George Edgar. On the right, Kanishk Rao. Lights are out. We're off and racing. It's a great start from Edgar. A terrible start from Rao, who's lost 5-6 positions. Side-by-side, wheel-to-wheel contact. Rao over the grass and has dropped. Oh, my word. And there's a big one. And a driver rolling the cart. The others off. The marshals are already with him. The marshals are already with that driver. I can say yellow flag, yellow flag.
Yep.
George Edgar continues to lead. We've gone full course yellow, and there is if that's the Fusion driver that barrel rolls out, he's got out of the kart, Harley Musk, and now he's angry because the kart won't start. Harley, you've just rolled up the banking on your head. You're only 10 years old, and now you're angry because the kart won't restart. These drivers are made of stern stuff, I tell you that.
They certainly are, aren't they? Well, full course yellow has been deployed, and that slows the grid down, essentially like a safety car in one of these races. They have to control the pack, and George Edgar right now still leading the way in this one, as we'll go for a restart very, very soon, probably in the next 2 laps or so. But like we say, absolutely made of stone, these drivers. What
Harley Musk built
moment.
Different.
Yeah.
Built different. But most importantly, for his family and friends watching at home in the grandstand, he is absolutely fine. That's all that matters.
He's so fine, he was trying to get the kart going again.
We're going to go and do another lap under full course caution. So, breathe, and the new order is George Edgar and Jesse Phillips. Well, Phillips starting. Their plan worked to perfection. Remember the pre-final?
Yeah.
Phillips seemed content to start third. They're now running 1-2. Max Endicott on the grid. Chris McCarthy said he had a tough job on his hands. He's got to try and beat Jamie Green Racing, Oliver Roller Motorsport, and Fusion. Well, he's in front of Oliver Roller Motorsport and Jamie Green Racing, but he's got those 2 pesky Fusion karts to deal with now. Then it's Will Green in 4th. Aaron Richardson is 5th. Finley Lines runs 6th. Ethan Woodward is 7th. Jensen Ackerman is 8th. Archie Lovett is 9th. Kanish Rao is trudging back. Is that Kanish Rao? Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. Broken track rod.
And he was obviously caught up in a subsequent accident there. So from the front row to the marshal post in the space of 2 corners. Jacob Bastard has gained 5 places to run 10th. Then it's Ethan Weldon. Alfie Brown is the leading privateer. Night Measures, Archie Owen, George Clark, Alexander D. Benedictis, Rian Townsend Grant, Max Ewell, Derek Babicek, Albert Friends, Rashid Hilal's up 7 places to 21st. The reigning runners, Hayden Gilbert, Shikmani Kira, Jala Seya, and Arya Naya. Charlie Goddard at the back, Rao and Muska out. Anthony Jordan, we're going to take the restart with... Ignore the timer there on the left-hand side of your screen. There is 11 minutes and 50 seconds to go when they go green now.
They do indeed. Timer restarts and green flag comes out. Single file start, and look at the getaway that Edgar and Phillips have got. This is bad news for the rest of the grid. Those 2 are now latched onto each other, and as far as they're concerned, will just continue to latch onto each other until the very last lap. The rest of the field, though, slots through just in the background. Endicott still in front of Will Green. Aaron Richardson still there from Finley Lines, from Woodward. Ackerman, Lovett, Batchelor as they go down into hairpin number 1 for the first time. Anyone going to pull out? Yes. Will Green to the inside, moves into 3rd place in front of Max Endicott as they now head round turn or the hairpin number 1.
Yeah, that move was great for Will Green, but it's bad for everybody else because look at the lead that Edgar and Phillips are already eking out. As we go past race director Dan Ashton there, you can see 3-4 kart lengths, and this is going to increase their advantage even more. Although, hang on a second, actually, this is Finley Lines up at the 4th position. And that's the 18 of Endicott. Just getting barged a little bit wide. The intensity level has really switched up. Endicott now finds himself mired deep in that snarling pack of karts. Meanwhile, Will Green is catching the 2 leaders on his own, and he's catching them hand over fist.
Serious waft in that Jamie Green Racing kart with Will Green at the wheel of it. He is siding his way up to the back of Phillips and Edgar here. This race for the lead is not over. Remember, Will Green has been a thorn in the side of the Fusion team in the Water Swift category with taking race wins. But look at the rest of the field here. So close and spread out still.
I think that was Derek Babicek in the red, or I think it's in the all red crash helmet. He's making a good move there. He is getting into the swing of things, style of British racing as well. 3 for the lead, and they have a 2-second advantage over everybody else. Will Green, I said that move that Will Green put on, I had my doubts about it, but I've been proved wrong yet again.
Yeah.
Because Green has got the pace to stay with him, and the rest of them led now by 4th place driver Aaron Richardson. They're all tripping over each other. So the gap is 2.1 seconds.
Love that shot. Everyone thinks that, oh, these are only kids racing. They're not going fast. Yes, they are. They are flying out there.
Absolutely. Now, the 3 Fusion drivers in 4th, 5th and 6th, Richardson in the 16, Lyons in the 81, Woodward in the 83. They have to start working together. Behind them, Archie Lovett for Oliver Rowland Motorsports runs 7th. Then Jensen Ackerman is 8th. Max Endicott's fallen back down 4 wide. And the red and white independent run kart of number 94, Alfie Brown, emerges in front.
Yeah, nice little run here, and again he goes toe-to-toe here, and again gets another position. Who was that with?
That was Rian Townsend Grant.
It was.
We spoke to Rian on the paddock, so he didn't finish a single race yesterday, and he's also got a 5-second penalty, so he's up into 16th, but now he's going to give some of those places back as we watch the top 3.
He's caught them. Look
Yes,
at this.
he has.
Will Green has latched onto the back without even a slipstream or a bump. What on earth have they done to that kart? It's literally flying out there.
He's popped a setup on it, that is for sure. What Will Green now has to agonise over? Do I make a nuisance of myself and take the fight to them now? Or do I sit here and wait, and then I've got less time to deal with George Edgar, who finished 3rd in last year's Cadet Army Championship, and Jesse Phillips, who was the British champion. Any privateers in this one, says Josh Coombs? Yes, Alfie Brown and Derek Babicek. Quickly mention the privateers. Vera Tools have put up a £3,000 worth prize. Toolbox, toolkits, everything for the best placed privateer in any class in the Grand Prix. There are 21 privateers here in total, and all of them have made the finals in this race. Derek Babicek and Alfie Brown. So the best privateer is, well, they're running 15th and 16th. Babicek from the Czech Republic in front of Brown. So we will monitor that, and of course everything's unofficial, but we will provisionally monitor that on the live stream. How many finals are left after this one, Henry? There are 6. This is race 2 out of 8 in the finals.
Plenty of time left in this race as well. 7 minutes plus 1 lap to go, and side by side further down the back of the field. Nice chop and chain there as Jacob Bachelor dives down the inside of Jensen Ackerman. That is for P9 on track. Albert Friend also getting involved in that phrase just behind it. There you can see Finley Lyons. He's just tucking in behind his helmet there, behind Aaron Richardson, who's just got past him. And, of course, all 3 of these Fusion drivers here right in front of the 89 of Archie Lovett, another of the ORMs trying to make it a double GP, but right now is struggling behind this trio of Fusions.
Now, Noe Janssen saying that Babicek isn't really a privateer. Well, he is at this event. He has just got one mechanic. He's using a bit of awning space with the George Gibber Motorsport team, but he is running his own operation, just him and a mechanic. They didn't want to bring their own awning all the way over from the Czech Republic. So they're using someone else's awning space, but it's just Zenit and a mechanic.
Yeah, I believe they're in the Jack Dex awning.
Yes, yes, yeah.
Yes, not the George Gibbons, yeah.
In a corner of the awning.
Yes, literally.
Now, let's have a look back. Here is the battle for 4th, 5th, 6th and 7th. It's Richardson at the head of this group in the number 16 kart. Then Lyons in the number 81. Behind Lyons is Woodward in the number 3 kart. And then Archie Lovett in the number 89 entry for Oliver Rowland Motorsports.
Several drivers under investigation.
Movement!
Yes.
Right. Will Green has decided, I am going to make a nuisance of myself for the last 5 minutes of this race. To heck with sitting in line, and you can already see him deviating, he's just moving around. And of course, in these cadet karts, Anthony, you can feel the kart. There's a move for the race lead. Is there a move? Yes, there is. How long for? Oh, brilliant. Jesse Phillips goes 3, 2, 1.
Yep, nicely done. Again, that move always vital to get it back down the inside. But again, Will Green's going to go to the inside. Phillips defends furiously into the hairpin. And Edgar goes through into second. Heart in the mouth moment for Will Green. but he leads the way. And now down the inside, both of the Fusions will retake it. This is going to be a fight all the way to the end. Aaron Richardson is 3.7 seconds further down the road, right in the back of this shot.
Watch the gap come down, hand over fist.
It will disappear. There are 4.5 minutes left of this race in terms of kart racing. That's an eternity.
17 drivers came into this event trying to do double duty. Only 16 of them now have the opportunity because George House did not win his first race. In this class, you are looking at Jesse Phillips doing double duty, Derek Babicek doing double duty, Will Green doing double duty, Finley Lines, Archie Lovett and Albert Friend. 4 minutes to go and the Fusion Motorsport drivers are back 1 and 2, Edgar ahead of Phillips. The drivers doing double duty at the moment, well, Albert Friend is only 20th, so he's not going to do the double this year. Derek Babicek is 15th. He's not going to double. In fact, I think a lot of drivers' hopes of doing the double are going to finish after this run, apart from Jesse Phillips and Will Green, who are still right in the hunt for the battle for victory.
Yes, they are. Here we go then. 3 of them very close. Oh, Will Green's dropped off just a little bit here. And Will Green is under a little bit of pressure here because if he loses that toe and if he's lost the rhythm now, he will just drop back. He needs to focus. He needs to get back into it. Look at the steering inputs that they're putting in. Again, Will Green earlier on was very, very smooth with that steering input. Now it's just a little bit more shaky, a little bit between it. Keep an eye on behind. But just further back, though, Richardson and Lines, they've started to break away from Lovett, Woodward, Endicott, Ackerman and Bachelor as well, still the top 10. Further back behind them, Archie Owen still there. He's up 6 positions. He's having a great race, is Archie Owen, for the Crop Promotions team. Ethan Weldon just behind him as well. George Clark for the OMS team. He's up into P13 as well. Zdenek Babicek up into P14. 4 positions gained. Jarlis Sayer having a cracking run. I don't know what Reggie Dewey told him, but he's certainly having a good one. He's up into P15.
Yes, he's not going to take the win, is Jarlis, but he's driving very well. 2 minutes 45 seconds to go, and you can still see Will Green hunching down. He's not given up. Now, the gap was 3.7 seconds. It came down to just over 2, and now it's back up to 3.1. And the chasing pack have been whittled down. It was 3 Fusion karts. It's now just 2. Aaron Richardson and Finley Lines, which means that Ethan Woodward has faded back into the clutch of Max Endicott, who runs in 8th position, with Jensen Ackerman and Jacob Basher rounding out the top 10. Archie Owen is 11th, followed by Ethan Weldon, George Clark, Zdenek Babicek, the leading privateer, in 14th. Then it's Jarlis Sayer, Night Measures, Alfie Brown, the second privateer, is down in 17th position. No, make that change. Alfie Brown picks up a couple of places and moves back into 16th place.
Still big moves happening further down the order as well. Sukmani Kira for the Fusion Motorsport team up into P19. This is Sukmani's first ever Kartmasters and certainly doing well in the top 20. I think she was aiming for a top 20 actually, she said over the weekend, so if she can do that, I'm sure she'll be very pleased with the result that she's got out there. 90 seconds left on the timer, plus 1 lap. And I'm just keeping an eye on that gap at the front, and it's interesting, isn't it? It's closing, it's opening. Everyone's a little faster here or there, but at the moment it's a bit of a stalemate, isn't it?
Well, I mean, 1 minute ago, 6/10 of a second is effectively, that is 1 passing manoeuvre for Jesse Phillips. If Jesse makes 1 little go at George Edgar,
he's right
then
there.
Will Green is right there. Now, further back, there's the 89 of Archie Lovett, and there's Max Endicott at the inside.
Yeah, Endicott on Woodward.
I'm not going to tempt fate here, but last year, Max Endicott, I think he wrote off 2 chassis, fell out of his kart, and I think he said, never going to do Kartmasters again. 12 months roll around, here he is, and he's having a much better. It's not over yet, but things are going much better for Max Endicott.
Funnily enough, I was speaking to his mum this morning. She said something very similar.
Well, I know, that's where I got my information. Oh! 12, Jensen Ackerman on the grass, just got squeezed wide, and he is dropping down out of the top 10.
There's the gap. It's opened up to 0.8 of a second now. There's 17 seconds left on the board. I reckon Phillips is going to go for it on this lap. I reckon he's not going to wait right to the last lap. I reckon it's going to go soon. It will be as soon as Edgar starts defending.
Well, Phillips looked over his shoulder there. He just wanted to double check to see how much of a gap he had.
Yeah.
And now he will assess the situation. He'll think, okay, I've got 1, possibly 2 attempts before I get caught by Will Green. It's amazing what the drivers are thinking of. They turn their heads for a fraction of a second and they compute so much information in that time.
No move there this time around. They're going to wait for the final lap, guaranteed. But Will Green is still right there in third place. He is close enough. As soon as they make one move, he'll be right there in the battle.
Phillips is no longer pushing George Edgar. He is now staying a kart length off his rear bumper. Edgar will feel the fact that he has not got any support anymore, so he knows there's Jamie Green looking nervously on. Will his team get their first Kartmasters podium? Oh, now, here we go. The clock has struck 0. Will the Edgar karting dynasty add another trophy to the cabinet, or will reigning British champion Jesse Phillips claim his first GP plate title? Round the outside goes Jesse Phillips. Edgar is pinned towards the inside. What a move! Move of the event so far. Jesse Phillips. Has it won him this race? I don't think it has, you know. I think there's still time for George Edgar to come back at him. What? Edgar looks to the outside. He's saying, anything you can do, I can do better. And here comes Will Green.
This is going to be a three-way fight to the line here. Henry Phillips defends. Edgar on the outside. Watch out for Will Green now. He's going to switch to the outside. Don't go to the outside here, Will. That's the bad way to go here. Now you've got to switch to the inside, but it's very, very close. There's yellow flags out in sector 1.
He's going to get a run.
He is indeed. He's going to go defensive. Here comes Edgar. Oh, it's going to be close. It's tentative. I don't think there's going to be enough space here. It's very close. Unless Edgar goes down the inside. There's a bit of contact between the two of them. Will Green down the inside. He's into second. Can he go for first on the over the start-finish line? I don't think he can. Out of the final corner. It's going to be a run to the line. It's going to be a run to the line. It's side by side. Who's going to get it? It's Phillips who takes it by 1/1000th of a second across the line. Can you get a Kartmasters final closer than that? How on earth did Will Green get such a good run out of the final corner?
And do you know what, Anthony? Each kart looked spotless at the end of it. They did not even so much as rub a sticker up against each other. Fantastic. Jesse Phillips is your provisional Water Swift Grand Prix champion for 2023 by 1/100th of a second.
Henry's dying in the commentary box. That race was so
sorry,
close.
excuse me while I die.
I was drinking while he was dying.
Let's look at that. Edgar finishes third. 0.2 of a second, covered the top 3. That is quicker than a hiccup. Aaron Richardson in 4th. Finley Lines rounds out the top 5. Max Endicott comes home in 6th. Then it's Ethan Woodward, Jacob Bashler, Archie Owen. Now, let's have a look. Nope. All nose cones fine there. Of course they were going to be fine. That was a superb battle. Archie Owen 9th. Ethan Weldon, for the nephew of the late Dan Weldon. It's a fantastic top 10 result for the Crop Promotions team. 2 karts in the top 10. Ackerman after a spin. Jala Sayer was 12th. Then Albert Friend. Right. Zdenek Babicek finishes 14th. That is the best place for a privateer at the moment. The other privateers have to beat that if they want to win the Vera Toolkit package. There's Glyn Griffiths, our Chief Marshal, just telling the drivers, okay, when you go out, you slow down, there's cameras, there's stuff like that. Basically, don't do a Gabe.
Yes.
If evermore...
Yeah.
It's going to be known as doing a Gabe.
Hashtag don't do a Gabe.
Yes.
There we go.
Look up. We're not going to explain. Just look at last year's Kartmasters video, Junior Rotax at the end of that race, and you'll find out why. Oh, the eyes of George Edgar.
So close once again for George Edgar. It will come one day for him, that GP plate. He is bound to be a Grand Prix champion.
His uncle Justin won 2 GP plates, I believe, but the Edgar family, they win O plates and they win British titles. I think
they do.
They've got about 9 or 10 O plates to their family name, and of course the family name. Well, there's Jessica Edgar. There's all sorts there, but here we go. Chris McCarthy. Whoa, you just can't get any closer than that, Chris.
Wow, what a race, won by 1/100th of a second. A round of applause, please, for our winner, Jesse Phillips. coming down in third place. George Edgar put in a fantastic fight. Let's have a round of applause for George Edgar. And second place, just losing out by 1/100th of a second, Will Green in the first ever race for Jamie Green Racing at Kartmasters. I'm going to ask you again, everyone in the crowd, because that was fantastic. For all three drivers, please, round of applause for what will go down surely as one of the best races in the junior classes. Absolutely fantastic. We'll let Jesse Phillips get his gloves off and put his crash helmet down, and then we will speak to him. We're still catching our breath back. I'm not sure what's going through the mind of the drivers. Jesse Phillips, congratulations. That was close, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a really good race. Obviously, the start went perfect. Me and George got away. And then on the last lap, you got to do what you got to do. I went round the outside through the long left, and then I just defended really well through the rest of the race. And then on the start finish, almost Will got me by like so close.
Tell us what was going through your mind when you came out that final corner there and you saw Will Green getting up alongside you. Tell us what was going through your mind at that point.
Well, I knew that the slipstream could always get you the win on the side, so I was just thinking, please, please win, please win, please win, please don't get alongside me. So yeah, it's a great race. I'm sure you've always dreamt of winning this race, and to do it by 1/100th of a second, that one's pretty special. I'm sure there's some people in that grandstand that you'd like to thank. Who'd you like to thank for this win? Well, the whole of Fusion, Jordan and Jake, my mechanics, and my mum for bringing me all the way up here, and my dad. Good stuff. Well wrapped up. Our winner, Jesse Phillips, and with that, I don't get to keep this. This is yours. Face the crown, Jesse Phillips. Hold it up for us, our Grand Prix champion in Water Swift. Well done to Jesse Phillips. Yeah, Will, it was that close, wasn't it? It was that close. Almost got it. But well, how are you feeling after that one?
Yeah, it was a good race. Jesse and Edgar were both able to push away, so I just had to hang on and hope I was able to come on top on the last lap, but I'm still really happy with second.
Who would you like to thank, Will?
I'd like to thank Joe for the waft, my mechanic James, my dad, all the other people supporting me, and everyone in JGR.
A round of applause, please. Almost got it, but what an effort. Will Green. And we don't forget about you, George Edgar. A podium at Kartmasters, a fantastic result. Just missing out on the last lap there, but you still must be very proud of your efforts.
Yeah, really good race. Me and Jesse got away. Pushed all the way until the last lap, and then just unfortunately through the long left he managed to get through. Then down the bottom I nearly got back through but didn't quite manage, and Will got through. But yeah, it's still really good to have a podium.
Who would you like to thank very quickly?
All the Fusion Motorsport, and my mechanic Jake, my mum and my dad and my sister. Well done.
Give another round of applause please to George Edgar. Fantastic effort. What a race. Wow. I don't know if the guys up there in commentary are still with me, but Henry, that was a close one, wasn't it?
Yeah, and you know what? Just behind the camera, Jake Dalton, Jesse Phillips mechanic, giving him a huge embrace. But again, it's the standard racing. How clean was that? Jesse saying, you've got to do what you've got to do on the last lap. Well, it involves driving around the outside of the banking to take the lead. Incredible. Absolutely incredible.
And I want to get the thoughts very quickly of someone who was watching that last lap with me, and we were stood right here at the start-finish line. Zach McDonald, that was close, wasn't it?
Well, it was, especially with Will Green onto the finish line. It was just, what, was 5,000ths of a second behind? It was amazing.
The next class will be Water Swift Unrestricted. 3 out of the 8 classes have crowned their first ever Kartmasters champion. So, Water Swift non-restricted, finishing in 3rd position, representing Fusion Motorsport, George Edgar. Now, the top 3 separated by just 0.2 of a second. The Motorsport-timing software only times to 1/100th of a second, so this is as close as it was possible to be. Finishing in 2nd place by 1/100th of a second, representing Jamie Green Racing, it's Will Green. And Jamie Green Racing take their first Kartmasters podium. Congratulations, team. Congratulations, Will. But your winner and 2023 Water Swift GP Plate Champion for Fusion Motorsport, it's Jesse Phillips. And James Mills will be presenting Jesse with his prize. So, for the drivers that finished 4th through 7th, so Aaron Richardson, Finley Lines, Max Endicott and Ethan Woodward, they get a reserved place at the IAMI World Finals. In 3rd position, George Edgar, £200 in cash, a full ticket to the IAMI World Finals, including entry fees and tyres, a set of Comet tyres and a t-shirt and cap. Runner-up, Will Green, wins £300 in cash, a full ticket to the Army World Finals, including entry fees and tyres, and a set of Comet tyres, as well as a t-shirt and cap. But your winner, in addition to the GP plate, Jesse Phillips, the reigning and defending British Cadet Champion, wins £500 in cash, the full ticket to the Army World Finals, entry fees and tyres, a set of Comet tyres on top of that, an Army t-shirt and cap, and courtesy of Delta Racewear, a new set of race gloves. Ladies and gentlemen, your Water Swift non-restricted podium. Thank you very much indeed.